Audio on demand from Vision Christian Media.
Exploring faith and the future. Neil Johnson and Bible teacher Dr. Camille Majdali.
In this day, you can very easily be led one side of politics or another. Sometimes we talk about right wing and left wing, talk about conservatives and progressives. Let's get a focus today, Camille, on that word progressive, because there are some scriptural foundations we ought to understand that allow us to keep a good focus on righteousness, godliness and truth without being led astray. What do you think of when you think of that word progressive?
Well, first of all, Neil, I think of the classic term. Progressive means progress, which is change for the better. And we've seen throughout human history, despite sin and flaws and corruption in our nature, we've had, agricultural revolutions, industrial revolutions, technological revolutions, even political revolutions, where we've evolved from absolute monarchies to constitutional monarchies or democratic societies. Now, to me, that's progress. It's change for the better. However, this term, progressivism, is being increasingly used by those that are on the left-hand side of politics to describe their version or their vision of the future. They don't use the term liberal because for some reason that term has become negative. And that's too bad, because the word liberal is a wonderful term, again in its classic sense, because liberal means freedom and respect for the individual and human rights, and democracy. That's what classic liberalism, like say 200 years ago, meant. So they avoid the term liberal and they avoid the term leftist. So they call themselves progressives. And it's a term that even their ideological opponents on the other side are using of them. Basically, it's like socialism. It's big government. It's let us take care of you. We'll take the taxes off you, but we will care for you. We'll give you housing. We'll give you pensions. We will give you cheap or free medical. We'll give you reduced cost education. Now that's the vision of the progressives. Who are on the other side? They are either the conservatives or the traditionalists who believe in free market. They believe in limited government, and they believe in strong moral foundation. Progressives are much less that case, or at least, shall we say, strong Bible-based moral foundations, the competitors to the progressives.
Of course, Camille, there is some way of easily defining these two. On one side, there's an acknowledgement of godliness, truth, and family as being central to a society. The other side has godlessness, but it has a vision to a utopian perfection in society, which comes with the thinking that there is no God. Is that a fair enough way of assessing those sides?
That's a nice general way. Not all progressives are atheists. Some of them would say they believe in God. But let me say a few things. First of all, the danger with modern-day progressivism, which is not always limited to one side of the Parliament, for example, the ALP in Australia or the Democratic Party in the United States, no doubt many of those there would say they are progressives. But some of them believe in God and some of them don't believe in God. Even some on the other side would be progressive. Teddy Roosevelt was a Republican, not a Democrat. He was a progressive. Some things that George W. Bush did, even though he was conservative morally to the hilt, but he believed in big government. He actually added a whole new department, a Department of Homeland Security, another bureaucracy that, of course, sucks up a lot of money. But yes, the fear of God may or may not be among these people. But remember, the danger is we don't just want change for change's sake. We want change for the better.
Faith and the future with Neil Johnson and Dr. Camille Majdali from Teach All Nations. Find articles, videos and podcasts from Dr. Camille, plus today's and other episodes of Faith and the Future in the Vision app or at vision.org.au.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.